everybody, and welcome to the Pull Up Experience Podcast.
The gangs are
We
here.
are all here.
The
in
gangs
front
are here.
and behind the camera, y'all. So y'all know it's got to be a great day for y'all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right here to my left, I just want to jump right on in and get y'all started. This is Mr. 6 Jobs I Don't Get Tired. This is a youth program facilitator, life coach, motivational speaker, and real estate investor. On top of being a husband and a father. Y'all, when I tell y'all for real, 6 jobs, 6 jobs. But he is excelling at all of them, and he is one of the main people you should know if you are in the Cleveland area trying to jump into any space. He is definitely dibbling and dabbling and actually making things happen. Without further ado, I definitely want to introduce you guys to Dawud. And please tell them more about yourself, because I can't do this.
No, I appreciate it. That was a great introduction. But yeah, I mean, you hit on some of the main pieces. I'm in a real estate investing right now. I'm actually in the process of buying my first multifamily property. Should be closing on it this week.
Oh,
which is really exciting.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
man.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I've been working with youth for about 6 years now. Started off with a lot of voluntary work, doing work in the juvenile centers. Worked for a nonprofit for a little while. Ended up becoming the director of their school program. And I realized as I was doing the work, eventually I was like, man, I could do this at a higher level and kind of create it and make it look the way that I want it to look for the youth that I was impacting. So created a program called HYPE. You know, got some wristbands on right here. So HYPE is just helping you produce excellence. That's the acronym. And teach a lot about self-love, self-discipline, self-awareness. I think one of the most impactful things that youth could ever learn is introspection, right? Really learning how to look inside and learn about themselves. So we spent a lot of time working on that. I recently collaborated with my wife, and we took the program a little bit deeper on a higher level, and we started something called Mind, Body, and Stove. So we teach the mindset and self-awareness, which I was already teaching, but now she comes in and she does a health and nutrition class with the students as well, and we collectively do the fitness instructing. So it's really exciting, man, what's happening right now. Of course, I still do some work in the real estate wholesaling space as well. I got an ebook in that space. If anybody wants to learn how to get their first deal without any money out of pocket, I've had some incredible trainers. I would say one of the best teachers and investors in Cleveland, Mr. Win, very known in Cleveland, doing some incredible things. So he was one of my mentors in the real estate space. And on the speaking side, also have a very powerful mentor, Mr. Jeremy Anderson, who's really helped me craft my ability to speak and impact youth on a high level.
So I want to get on there since you hit on it. The last thing I really remember you posting was about like a dope speaking engagement you and your wife collaborated on, where you guys actually did like the high interval intensity training.
HIIT training.
Yeah. Then you still had enough breath to speak.
I did.
Okay, so how does that all work?
It's challenging, you know, but I've been doing it for a while. So for me, it almost comes like second nature. When it's time to speak, it's something clicks. Yeah. It turns on. It doesn't matter if it's on stage. It doesn't matter if I'm right in between a group of students. It doesn't matter if I'm just talking to somebody one-on-one. Yeah. Whatever the situation is, it's very easy for me to just tap in and do my best to leave that person with a positive impression. Okay. So we can go straight from, and my wife does a lot of the more physical part of the training when we're doing the fitness activity. So she leans on me to do the speaking. I'll lean on her to do, because she's actually a group fitness instructor at Lifetime Fitness. She teaches youth fitness, so it's really her business, and we just collectively put it all together and put it into a school program. So she does a lot of that part. I do most of the speaking. Cause she's a little bit more shy, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, babe, go ahead. I did my part. Go ahead, it's time for you to speak. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's dial it back. What made you get started in this entrepreneurial space? Because you're dominating it now, but like, when did it all begin?
I appreciate you said dominate. I feel like I still got a long way to go, but I do appreciate that. I grew up in a family restaurant. You know, my grandfather, if anybody has ever heard of the Nation of Islam, My grandfather was a minister for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was very, very well known in Cleveland. He actually opened the First Nation Islam School in Cleveland with Muhammad Ali. So having that as an example and a little bit of a blueprint, it always left me with that entrepreneur spirit, right? I didn't really understand it at an early age, but growing up in a restaurant, seeing how he navigated through business, seeing how he led, I was developing some of those attributes at a very, very early age. I was answering the phones at the restaurant, skinning fish, making pie shells. I was doing a lot at a very early age. So I know one of my first journeys on my own is my dad just gave me a lawnmower and bought a weed whacker, and he was like, "Hey son, go cut grass in the neighborhood." So that got me started at a very early age, 11, 12, 13 years old. I was doing that. And you know, from there, it was just always in my spirit. Even though I started working a job and growing in that space, I did very well in the corporate area, but I always had the entrepreneurship spirit.
Okay. Now, I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of us struggle with believing in ourselves to get out there. And I love that you actually are in the space of life coaching and motivational speaking. So we all know two of the biggest fears in life for people are death and public speaking. And death is second, right?
For sure.
Public speaking is absolutely the first. So what gave you that confidence, or what started you on that journey? Because it can sometimes be a journey, but it's so rewarding when you start to see it all come to fruition. You start to see the change and the actual transformation that comes from the inspiration. So how did that all work?
So again, I think environment plays a major role on your character, right, and how you approach life. For me, I grew up in an environment seeing my grandfather speak on stage. I mean, as a kid, and it was, for me, it was invigorating. You know, the feel of, you know, when he would say certain things, or if he would move the audience, I felt it like in my bones. You know what I'm saying? So I always had this desire to one day grab the microphone and be on the stage. When I was probably maybe 13 or 14, I did the announcements in front of everybody.
Oh wow!
So it was nerve-wracking because it was my first time. It was like, you know, 100 people in the audience, and I just got up and I did the announcements for a meeting that we had. And that was kind of one of my first experiences of getting the jitters and the butterflies out of my system. And after I did that, it was like, I need to do this all the time. I always wanted to do it again and again because I wanted to build in the skill. I wanted to, you know, really hone in on my craft because I knew something was there. I didn't know how far I was going to go. I didn't identify it as my purpose at that time, but I felt it. And from that point on, I always wanted to be on stage speaking.
So let me ask you a question, because for an aspiring speaker like myself, what tips would you give somebody who wants to get into that space of being a speaker? What tips would you give them to get started, or more so, get over that fear of speaking in front of people?
Yeah, it's really a conversation that you have with yourself before you go on stage. It's a because think of it like this: we're all having a conversation right now. It probably feels kind of comfortable. Right. It's not really too much anxiety from sitting down and having a conversation in this atmosphere we're in right now. If you have a conversation with yourself before going on stage and you understand that, hey, look, all I'm doing is going out there and having a conversation with people. Right? I'm talking to them about things that I probably talk about all the time. Right? It starts to, you know, rid you of that anxiety. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be a little, you know, butterflies. You might perspire a little bit right before you hit that stage. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I still feel it. But now I embrace it. I embody it. I'm like, when I feel it, I'm like, yes, here we go. That's the feel of something exciting getting ready to transpire in my life. It's actually an energy, because all of these people that are sitting in the audience or wherever you are, they're expecting you to impact their life. Right? They have an expectation that you're going to move them. So what you're feeling is part of that energy. You got to tap into their energy as you go on that stage. Right? So for me, I try to embrace all of it and use it to my advantage when I speak.
Okay. I was listening because like that moved me, you know. He said, I'm ready for it. Come on, like no, I see how boxers when they get ready for a fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you still get the jitters. I got a good friend who's a musician, and I remember I went to one of his concerts, and you know we went and got a drink right before he's getting ready to go on stage, and he was like, they call me, you know, some people call me Wood. He's like, man, Wood, I'm nervous. I'm like, you've been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, bro, I still get the same nervous feeling before I go up. And he killed it when he got on stage.
Yeah,
killed it.
yeah.
So it's something that takes over when you're in that space of entertainment or inspiring or motivating. It's something that takes over when as soon as you open your mouth, it just takes over. But it takes time, it takes practice, you know, and if somebody who doesn't naturally have it, it can be built over time.
That's good. Hey, I'm going to take notes.
So you currently, you're in business with your wife.
Yes.
So because you kind of, from motivational speaking to physical fitness, you kind of made this happen.
I did.
I feel like, you know, if it's something like, okay, like, you make food and I make wine.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of there. But what kind of conversations did you and your wife have to come up with the idea to blend those businesses, even though they're so different?
Yeah, so what happened, which was pretty cool, I was working in a school, and I was working with just boys at the school, and I kept getting requests to do something for the young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew my wife was already a chef. She was already doing meal prep and private, you know, catering events and things like that. And she had always had a desire to help impact childhood obesity through nutrition, education, and things of that nature. So I pitched the idea to the school that I was working in. I said, hey, I think my wife would make a good fit doing a program for the young ladies, teaching about health and nutrition. And I said occasionally I'll pop in and I'll do some motivation for the young ladies as well. Brought her in, the program went great. And a few days, what happened was, because we didn't have as many students that was supposed to be there a couple times, we put all of our group together, and I just started off doing the motivational piece for the whole group, and she would do the health and nutrition portion. And we blended our students together. And some years ago, just, you know, me, I think of a lot of stuff and I just jot it down. I was like, you know, it'd be dope if one day we started a program, and I had heard Mind, Body, and Soul, and I was like, what if we did something called Mind, Body, and Stove? Right? Still spin on it, right? Mind, Body, and Stove. We talk mindset, physical fitness. We work out a lot together, and then you teach the you know, health and nutrition piece. And we piloted it at this one school, and it went way better than we ever expected. And now that's really the direction I think I want to go for the most part in the schools, especially for the younger, like elementary schools, and then more high school, colleges, business, young entrepreneurs. I'll probably spend more of my personal time in those arenas.
That's good. I really like the fact that you and your wife, y'all do it together.
I think that can make a really strong team. If you're both doing something that you really enjoy doing, and you can actually blend it.
Yeah, and she made it. She took a leap. You know, she was doing meal prep pretty heavy in 2021, and right before the end of the year, she was like, I don't want to do meal prep anymore for clients. It's overwhelming. I have all this extra food. I have to shop like crazy. We got two babies. It's a lot. And it just wasn't the return that she would have needed for it to make sense. It wasn't there. So she was like, my ultimate goal, even getting into the food space, was really to impact kids. So I was like, I work with kids already. Like I could make that happen for you when you're ready. So let's do it. And it's flourishing now.
Nice.
That's cool. So shoot, we talked about the past, talked about the present. What's the next step for you, man?
Oh man, well, definitely continue to build out this program. You know, Mind, Body, and Stone. That's a major piece for me right now. We are looking to, you know, hit schools all around the Cleveland area. So we want to, you know, start at home. And we've already started to get requests for if we do things with parents. Which makes sense, because when we're teaching the kids about health and nutrition and physical fitness and, you know, mindset and self-awareness, they still got to go home, right? They still got to experience what you could say is real life, right?
Right.
So they go back to the same environments, and what does it do for us if we're telling them about all the negative things about Takis, right? And we're breaking down the ingredients, the dyes, and all this stuff, and reasons why they shouldn't be eating these every single day at school.
Right.
And mom is still buying Takis, right? Or she's still packing them, unhealthy lunches, or it doesn't help make full sense, right? So for us to be full spectrum, we want to start working with parents as well now. So my wife did do one event with a group of parents virtually already. So we're looking to dive into that space on a much higher level this year.
That's dope.
I'm remembering something that now this was in California, but a friend of mine, their wife and a friend of hers, and their children go to the same school, and they felt like the food wasn't nutritional enough, and they pitched it to the school. They put together their menu and the foods that they think that are more healthy for the children. Now this is a private school, but it worked. And they were able to get that school to work with them and go through them for meals. So I don't, like I said, this is a private school and it's California, but maybe you guys want to throw something out there like that, and then you could put the physical fitness aspect to it. And of course, everybody needs to be motivated, but that may be an avenue you guys can get into.
We are looking into, she's on a panel right now that is doing some stuff with like local farms. And they have like monthly meetings, and they're trying to find a way to start getting more local farms involved with the schools, lunches and nutrition. So if you look at countries all around the world, we are the most non-nutritious lunches for students in the world. You look at other countries, if you compare some of their lunches that they have for their students, I mean, it's night and day.
The food that we serve, a lot of it is banned in other countries.
Exactly.
Like dyes and all that stuff.
Exactly. So we just want to bring some awareness there, man. We've had students that literally, we did a blind food taste testing with some of our students, and some of them had celery, and they had no idea what it was. And even they took the blind, no, it's the real reality. They took the blindfold off, and they was like, "What is this?" They didn't know what celery was. Some of them had never had a cucumber before, right? So this is the reality of what's happening in the schools with some of these students, and somebody has to do something about it. So we're striving to make an impact.
I agree.
So I like to ask questions like the nuts and bolts of everything. So I know you have a passion for speaking, but let's talk about how a person can go into speaking and what how I can develop into something more. Because I know you can do licensing with your program if you wanted to in the schools. You guys can make it to a conference if you wanted to. So I just want to dive into how someone can expand upon just being a speaker or whatnot, or not being a speaker, but how can I expand their business?
If anyone aspires to be a speaker, there's a few different ways. So there are a ton of nonprofit organizations out there already, a lot of which already have great relationships with schools, and they are constantly looking for volunteers. That was my entry point, right? So I built relationships with the schools by volunteering with the nonprofits. Once you start building relationships with the schools, have your business card ready. You go into school and say, hey, look, I'm a motivational speaker. I target X, Y, and Z. You might target young ladies. You might target young men. You might target elementary. You might target high school. Whatever your target market is, you share that with the school. And you continue to do that process and to build your reputation, to get your name out there. And then more than likely, they'll ask you, hey, would you like to come in and talk to our young ladies or young men, right? And that gives you an opportunity. There's other ways. You could just go into schools all around your city. I would say, draw out maybe like a 5-mile radius from your home and hit all those schools and bring some donuts up in there and
donuts always work.
Talk to the front desk and say, hey, look, I'm a motivational speaker. I work with youth. You don't have to tell them like, hey, I'm just getting started. You don't have to do all that, right? You say, hey, I'm a motivational speaker. I work with youth. This is the grade I'm working with. And I was just wondering, are you guys looking for anybody to help solve some of the problems that you might be dealing with your students.
That's a bomb drop right there,
right?
Working on that, y'all.
Again.
Bomb drop's coming.
They
The
have
problems you're dealing with. You got to address it the right way.
Right.
Right?
Ooh.
And then if they say, or you can come in and say, hey, what are some of the challenges that you guys are faced with your students right now? And they might say, oh man, it's a lot of bullying going on. Students aren't showing up. They're skipping class. There is gossip that always happens. Whatever the case is, and then you tailor a program. You tailor your curriculum around what the school needs.
That's what's up.
Right? Or your message around what the school needs. And then you can come in and it'll be a much easier entry point. If you do that in 15 schools, you're going to get a few. You're going to get a few. Now, what I have learned that there's a lot of schools that are looking for, something like an 8-week program, 12-week program, school round, year-round program, after-school program. Not saying that the space isn't available to come in and do a keynote presentation and get 5,000 or 7,500 for one-time speaking. That is available. It's possible, but it is more challenging, and you really got to be, on your consistent messaging and follow up. Your website needs to be together, everything like that. I've just seen it's a lot easier to get to the schools if you have a program that's going to last for a few weeks.
Okay. You gave a whole math class in like 5 minutes, bro. So we appreciate that because I didn't even think about that. I think that lesson right there is not just for speakers, but as a whole. Because I know as an agent, same ordeal. You go to someone and say, hey, listen, man, what's your problem? Are you trying to buy? You trying to sell? Whatever it is, you let them tell you the problem. You tell it the conversation around that. So I think as a math class, I'm just entrepreneurs as a whole, not just speakers. So thank you for that.
For sure.
Yeah. So, okay, and that's what I ask everybody. This is my staple question, by the way, y'all. Trademark, pull-up experience. So,
I can't.
My question to you, man, is what do you want your legacy to be for yourself, and then what do you want your legacy to be for the businesses that you're cultivating right now? What do you want the legacy to be?
Ultimately, one of my main goals from a legacy standpoint would be for my children to say that my dad inspired me to be the best version of myself. Right? It's great for other, youth that I impact. I would love for that to be all the youth that I speak to. But most importantly, my children.
That's dope.
I want, one of my mentors, Mr. Beyond Win, he said that the movie that your children should watch the most should be the one of you showing them the way.
That's
being the example, right? So that should be the movie that they watch the most. They should be able to see, like, say, I saw Dad doing X, Y, and Z. I saw Dad doing X, Y, and Z. And that should be the repeat movie that they're playing in their mind because they saw me, even when things were hard, Dad kept pushing through it. Even when he was tired, Dad was still working. Even when he wanted to give up, he never did. I heard Dad speaking affirmations to himself at home. My son recently was about to walk out the door, and he saw an affirmation card I have on my door that says, I am excited and full of energy to go out and impact the day, or go out and make an impact on the day. And he was reading it, and he was like, why do you got this here, Dad? And I was like, because don't you think it would make you feel good to be excited, have great energy, and to go out and make an impact on the day? He was like, yeah, that makes sense. But those little things leave something in them that they should never forget. And that's the legacy that I really want to leave.
That's dope. I must be close off the first interview right there. That was good stuff right there. And my last question to you, what are 3 things you want somebody to take away from the interview tonight? It might have been something that you might have said or something that you did say that you want someone to say, okay, I got these 3 things from listening to Dawud tonight.
I briefly talked about environment, right? And how me growing up in an environment with my grandfather being a speaker and things of that nature, it inspired me to become a speaker as well. I don't think we really understand how powerful our environments are, right? And you got to be intentional about your environment. Now, if you're young, you're like, well, Dawud, what do I do if my environment is toxic and I'm a kid? Right? You have to start creating an environment within your environment. That's why journals are important. That's why affirmation cards are important. That's why, art and drawings and things like that, they're important to surround yourself with things like that.
That's
you know,
good.
people have seen vision boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my mentors said, don't just have a vision board, have a vision environment. You shouldn't just walk away from the board and not see those things that inspire you.
That's
It
good.
should be everywhere in your house. It should be in your car. It should be on your phone. It should be on your laptop. Something that's inspiring you to go after your dreams, to achieve your goals. So create an inspiring environment so that you're always attracting the things that you want in life every single day,
That's good.
consciously and subconsciously,
That's
right?
good.
So environment, very important. Another thing I would say is be mindful of your words, right? I choose my words very wisely now.
Yeah.
There was a time of my life where I would say certain things and not understand the impact that it was having on my mood, my energy, or my day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of people damn the day, right? So they'll say things like, man, I just wish this day was over. What if God said, your wish is my command? Day over.
Yeah.
Where would you be? Right?
That's good.
You know, so be very mindful about your words, because when you speak something, that is an energy, right? Your words have power. All this that we see around us was first created with a word, right? So think about that. When you're saying things, you're also manifesting things in your life. And if you feel a certain type of way, it's probably led by something you've been saying to yourself, even if it ain't out loud. All right?
That's good. Right there.
I
So
agree.
environment, your words, and the last thing I would say is learn to really fall in. Like one of my wristbands, the first one I ever made, says, I love myself. Learn to fall. You feel me?
That's a signature.
Learn to
right there.
fall in love with yourself, right? Because when you love yourself, your
Yeah.
energy to the rest of the world is different. You approach life different. You walk out the door different. You know, if you're at work and it's you know, chaos throughout you
Yeah.
love yourself, you're like, yo, I'm cool. Like, this ain't stressing me out that much. You know, I'm good.
Phase.
Yeah, it's part of the
That's good.
process. So I really, and it took time, but I really intentionally started falling in love with me. And it took me saying it in the mirror. You know, I said, again, being intentional with your words. I started saying in the mirror, man, I love you. I love myself. I love myself. Man, I love you. I love you. And you dope. It changed.
Yeah.
It started out awkward.
Yeah.
It really did. It started out like, I love myself. I love myself. And it was kind of weird. But eventually it was like, now I can look at myself, man, I look right. You dope. You dope for real. You know what I'm saying? And it
That's
feels
dope.
good.
Yeah.
And when you feel good, you attract things that make you feel even better. You know? So fall in love with yourself, man. Love on you. Hug yourself.
Yeah.
Give yourself, when's the last time you gave yourself a round of applause?
Right.
You might see a game, you might be watching TV, you might see a great movie, and at the end you like, oh, that was dope. When the last time you said, oh, you dope, and clap for you. So fall in love with yourself.
We don't do
The whole
much.
clip
We
right there, by the
keep
way.
striving to do more instead
Yeah.
of realizing that we've done so much thus
Man,
far.
you realize, and I gotta leave you with this. Do you realize, just by being here, being alive, you have done the hardest thing you will ever have to do in life? The creation of you being here is the hardest thing you will ever have to experience in life. It already happened. You already did it.
Yeah.
So whatever challenge, whatever thing you're facing, whatever you're going through, whatever you're afraid of, you've already conquered the biggest fear, the toughest challenge you will ever have to experience in life just by being creative.
Listen,
Sorry, you cannot.
that was closing right there.
I just had to say it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What do you
That
mean
was
you're
a
sorry?
No, that was
You
good.
got it.
That was
That's
good.
it.
One last question though, because you're not finna drop our list and think you're gonna leave us. I need something to throw in the links in the description box below, and y'all make sure that y'all go check it out and actually hit the link below, because
Yes.
I'm asking the right questions. How can people stay in touch with you?
Absolutely, man. So it's just my first and last name at DAWUD HAMZAH. So that's at Dawud Hamzah on Instagram, Facebook. My website is www.hypeworldwide.org. If you want to book me to come speak at your school or at an event, that's how you can reach me in that way.
Awesome.
Listen, that was dope right there. he clean with it. All right, we got his bills, right?
We do have to pay some bills. Well, first of all, we definitely want to thank you guys for staying the course. We talk about focus and consistency. We talk about how your environment breeds your elevation, and y'all are a huge part of that when it comes to the pull-up experience. So first of all, we just want to start off by saying thank you.
Thank you.
Second of all, we got to reach out to all of our partners here. The first person I definitely got to reach out to, since we started with Hype and I Love Myself, y'all know the best affirmation playlist comes from Alien Eye Player or Alien Eyes Photos. Y'all know my boy Steve is the one to get you all the way right when it comes to event photography. And there ain't no point of putting on a whole show, paying all this money, inviting all these people, doing all this stuff, and you ain't got the memory. So if you want to commemorate the experience even have something to take back with you, because sometimes it's just about being with the right people and being able to make sure that you have that visual. So that is a person that definitely is going to give it to you. On top of that, though, if you trying to go all the way out the way with it, we got our human droid in the
Arlo in the building.
Yes. Arlo is actually in the building.
Literally, right?
She's here.
That's right, y'all. She is not climbing the mountain right now. She's not in the desert.
A nice little
she ain't jumped in front of the freeway.
There you go.
Let people know you really exist.
She is here, y'all. Before they had them little robots. They had them robots. It was my girl Angie. So if you guys are looking for an editorial style shoot or anything out of the box, she has the eye when it comes to making sure that we all know it and see it, and that she can capture it for you. This is definitely who you definitely want to reach out to at Where's Arlo. Don't worry, y'all. I know y'all like, how we spell that? Where I'm supposed to do? Click the link in the description box below, because I got all of them down there.
All the info.
All of them. Next up is my bro, the big head one himself. My bro, not your average Asian, is in the building. Now, I know I play a lot, but when it comes to business being serious and more than just 25,000 followers, y'all, this man is on a mission when it comes to his 100 homeowners in Cleveland. And even if you're not home buyer ready, you're just trying to get your situation together, your credit together, you just need to ask the right questions to learn. This is the one. Like I said, he's not your average agent, and we call him that for a reason. Not only does my bro answer the phone, but he will ride out with you to the different properties. He will actually help you to figure out what works best for your situation, your budget. Like I said, getting your credit and everything together. Make sure y'all hit him up. And if you want to be an agent, that's how much of not of a hater he is, right? If you want to be an agent, it's definitely who you need to talk to when you're trying to join the team. Before you even take the test, make the call. So once you finish and pass the test, you already got you a brokerage on the way. I'm telling y'all, I'm putting y'all on game. Next up is my sis, Nakia. Y'all know where we at. Y'all see the blue walls. 2U Wines. Now, leave me a black rim. That's my Beneficial Bay Cabernet. But when it comes to having a whole vibe, she got her own winery, y'all. 4425 Mayfield Road, Southfield, Ohio. 44121. Y'all know what it is, whether it's brunch, a baker's gate, if you like to smoke a little bit, a vibe, if you're just looking for something different than dinner and a movie, y'all just want to come and do a private wine tasting, or if you just need to make a little sip, you don't even want to take the trip, they got DoorDash, y'all. Make sure y'all pull up on her. Y'all can even pick her brain. I mean, it's like I said, it's something I can't describe because it's just amazing like that. I come all the time just falling through. But this is definitely the one you definitely come and get a sip. And while y'all here, take a little bite of Carson's Delight. It is the bomb when it comes to flavored popcorn. Make sure y'all let them know Beneficial Bay sent you though, because listen, I be trying. If you don't know who I am.
We got this. Me and the kid got this. All right. I'm sorry. Hey, y'all. Last but not least, we got the best in the city. Y'all see her as the intro killer. We call her outro killer. She kills it every single time. You know what I'm saying?
I paid him for that one, y'all.
Intro,
outro, whatever you
questions,
need. Whatever you
questions
need. She
to
got
make
it.
you think,
She got
questions
it.
that
Absolutely.
make our guests give up that info. Yes, on top of it all.
You looking to scale your business to take the next level organically, not without ads, not without, you know what I'm saying, getting other robots to be your followers and all that good stuff. Come holler at her. You know what I'm saying? I'm her worst student ever, but I'm trying to tell you, you want to tell her how I got 25K? Holler at her. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But once again, learn how to grow your business organically and do it the right way, not just, you know, how everyone else does it.
And hands-on.
Absolutely.
She has classes where she's going to
teacher.
walk you through every phase.
Absolutely.
If you have any entrepreneurs out there that just don't quite know how to work your social media, you're on there, but you don't really know what you're doing, she will walk you through everything to connect everything, to keep you having your information out there constantly. You know, did you guys know you can program things? You can put things out there. You don't have to be present and posting all the time. She'll teach you all of that. Even getting some of her clients to be monetized on Facebook, on Instagram. Like, she's the real deal. Beneficial bag. Holler at her. Y'all know already. We don't have to tell y'all.
Y'all know that for real. That's why I ain't going nowhere.
And then this is episode 68, so we're going to do part 2 when you're ready to do Mind, Body, Stove. You know what I'm saying?
We might just pull up and do a blind taste test. I know they don't know what
we might pull up and back.
Right. You don't know the carrot.
Right, we appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Last but not least, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. October 16th. We are doing the dating game, y'all. You single in the city, you're entrepreneur.
Sweetie's Day.
Listen, we got the best thing in the city to entertain you. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny.
And even if you're married or got a little babe, come out. It's the perfect date night. Seriously. You're going to laugh. We going to joke. We going to eat and drink a little bit. It's going to be a great time. But yes, just like old school dating game. 1 bachelor, 3 bachelorettes. 1 bachelorette, 3 bachelors. They can't see each other behind the curtain. They asking all type of questions, and whoever got the best answer is gonna win the date. We're gonna sponsor the date, and we're working with some community sponsors to partner and help make sure it's a great date for free. All you gotta do is show up. Make sure y'all be following the Pull Up Experience page. That's the Pull Up EXP on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all follow us and send us some more followers, because once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not playing with y'all this season. I'm telling y'all, got to October 16th. That's Sweetest Day. Day after Sweetest Day.
And we have something special for you guys too. We're gonna have added guests.
Yes.
This time we're gonna have added guests.
I'm excited.
We'll put the information out. Yes, we'll put the information out and let you guys know exactly what we're looking for when the time comes. So make sure you're paying attention and see if you are that special guest for the Pull Up Experience dating game.
So exciting every time, y'all. Y'all know how we get down. We bring the excitement for entrepreneurs. So this is what we do. We're gonna do. Nobody does it better than us, y'all.
Not at all.
And we appreciate you guys so much. We appreciate the follow through. Everybody's watching. Everybody's listening. You know, we see you guys, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate y'all for having me on today.
And we about to
say
we bring the best in the city, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
Y'all really don't, man.
Listen. All right, y'all. We see y'all next week. Until then.
Bye.
Peace.
Take care.